I'm Ricky, and this is my best friend, Becky.
Hi.
We're stepmoms without children, and today we're going to tell you about our transition from working retail to being office girlies. Hashtag working 9 to 5.
What a way to make a living.
So cute.
Dolly's so cute.
Dolly is so cute. I love Dolly because I know her from Miley Cyrus. I don't know anything about Dolly Parton except for she's Miley Cyrus's godmom.
So cute.
Isn't it? So, what happened this week with your kitchen? Tell us.
Kitchen's finished. So that's very, very exciting. Made the ziti. It was a hit. Started my sourdough starter.
Oh, I forgot you're gonna be a bread girly.
We'll see. I don't know. I like joined a Facebook group. I'm like watched a bunch of videos, and it is looking to be a more longer and laborious process than
bread talk is like people are into it.
Well, and like specifically sourdough bread.
Yeah, I feel like the focaccia girlies are just making a quick focaccia.
I mean, that's easy. So we make like a it's like traditionally known as like a grandma pie. It's like a very focaccia style dough that is very easy, proofs very little. And we make a pizza out of it, and it's delicious. But that's very simple.
You're going for the gold.
I mean, so like when you start a loaf, it goes through 2 rounds of fermenting. It goes the first round, which is called like the bulk fermenting process, which is like up to 12 hours. And then it ferments again, like overnight in the fridge.
Okay,
and
science.
Science, exactly. And then like you can't cut into it for like hours, like 6 hours, like after it gets out of the oven.
Why?
It's like because like the carryover cooking and like making sure that it's cooked all the way through. Like the Facebook
group, like a fucking prime rib.
Yeah, the Facebook group just like tons of pictures upon pictures upon pictures of people that have cut into it, and it's just like not finished in the middle, or it's like really gummy, or it's not like bubbly, like the crumb is wrong. So I'm like, I went into this thinking that like, oh, I'll be able to do this.
Obviously,
like I'm very intimidated. So we'll see. I'm
sourdough will humble you. Who would have known?
Yeah, we'll see. But the starter is coming along great. Like it doubled in size last night. So that's very exciting. I think like another couple days and it will be like ready to use. So
love that.
What about you? I feel like you had a week. I just feel like you were always out. You were a woman about town this week.
I was in the streets.
Yeah.
I don't remember now that you asked me and put me on the spot, but I would feel like I was in the streets. I was sick all weekend. So I stayed home, but then my husband went and decorated for Christmas down at the in-laws. And so that's like a cute thing, but also it just gave me time to be not in the streets.
I love that.
But I was out in the streets yesterday. I met up with one of my dearest, Andrea, throwback.
Old friend.
And so we went to the Apple store because I purchased a Mac Mini.
So cute.
Doing mid things. We got there and it's like a really easy pickup process because it's Apple, and Apple does everything correctly. And so the guy scans your phone, and then everybody who was picking up before me was getting like AirPods or like something easy, and they literally just had like a pile of them on the table, and he was just bagging them and giving it to the people and saying, okay, thank you, bye. And so he kind of had to do a little extra effort. He's like, oh, you're getting a Mac Mini. And I was like, yeah. And so I don't know if it was me or Andrea said it. One of us said has a podcast once. And he was like, oh, say word. And he was like, let me see if you have a real podcast. And I showed him my Podcasters app and showed him all the things on Anchor. And he followed us on Spotify on his phone. And so hello to our new follower. And it was just an exciting thing to buy a real good piece of electronics. This is an investment. The least expensive investment that they have in the store, but an investment nonetheless. And so it's an exciting thing. But besides that, I did also decide on my Christmas baking things. I finalized my list today, and I will be procuring my provisions for the baking to commence this weekend. Oh, speaking of this weekend, it's Nina's birthday. When this airs, it's Nina's birthday.
Happy birthday, Nina!
Happy birthday, Nina, the wiener cleaner. Just kidding, she doesn't do that. I feel like that's it. I know I said I was in the streets. Like we went to the mall. I went to the mall on Monday. Hold on, we gotta talk about the mall. So I went to the mall again. This is the second Monday I've gone. And I went there to pick up a package, which was like annoying because they like did it wrong. And I said, if there's a pair of shoes in my size at this store, I'm gonna buy it. And by golly, I walked into this store and there was a 9.5 wide. The store's all wide. It's torrid. And it's a pair of platform loafers covered in black rhinestones.
So cute.
So they're on brand for my vibe.
You said, this is me now.
This is me now. I'm a rhinestone loafer platform girl. I've always been a platform girl since I wore Melissa Bourgeois platforms in the third grade. No, the fourth grade in Mrs. Lynch's class. If we had to like go to the bathroom, like we would switch shoes just because I wanted like a second to wear her platforms because I didn't have them. Anyways, working 9 to 5. Let's talk about it because I mean, I feel like most of my friends are 9 to 5ers now, or always have been, especially my friends from back home. But honey, like this is new. After 10 years, for me, it's only 10 years of working retail. For you, it's 15. A little bit longer. So let's talk about the differences because there's a bunch.
So I don't want to get too deep into, there's a phenomenon that kind of happened, like the Great Resignation, they called it, that was kind of happening like during / at the tail end of COVID. And you and I were both products of.
Yeah.
And took it, members of the Great Resignation.
Totally.
And I was trying to remember this. I feel like you were interviewing before I was.
Oh, yes. I remember thinking that I was going to have a new job January 2021. 2022.
Yes, 2022.
Yes. I like by the end of the year, I will be the fuck out of here. That was my plan.
You know, things just, for me, this was like the culmination of a lot of things. Looking back, like I missed out on, working nights and weekends and working 60 hours a week. I missed out on a lot. I missed out on a lot of parties. I missed out on a lot of
even sometimes
events.
Holidays.
Yes, holidays, like you're working holidays.
Like the summer holiday, like the cool summer holidays, like barbecues and stuff.
Yeah.
Like obviously like Christmas and Easter, we didn't have to work, but
the days after we did.
Yeah, like we couldn't give our all. We couldn't go ham.
Yeah. And so I just remember there was an old friend of mine, like from high school friend of mine, who said to me, and this was, I mean, God, this was years ago. This wasn't even recently said to me, like, have this mindset of like live to work, not work to live. Hold on. What is it? Don't live to work.
Right.
Versus like you should be working to live, not living to work. That's what it is. Yeah.
I mean, that's very like if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Like I didn't dream about fucking working for a plumber. You know what I mean?
No, I know, but I just think, the hours and like I said, a lot of like social sacrifices.
Totally. 100%.
In retail. And, things just started getting really out of control. And like, just watching my colleagues who didn't work through the pandemic, like sit and collect.
Oh, the worst.
Way more money than I was making to work. But who would have seen that? I thought I'm the lucky one. They chose me to stay.
Right. I have a job. I have benefits.
Yeah.
I'm doing something all day.
They had benefits too. They were getting unemployment. Unemployment was just throwing money at people hand over fist.
Literally. Yeah.
Not to make this like anything, it's not. But so that was kind of one of my inspirations to look elsewhere. And then I don't want to like get too much into other reasons, but things just weren't going well for me at work.
Yeah, we were ready to move on.
Yeah. So I love this story, but so I interviewed at my current job. The vibe was so great.
I remember the day.
Felt
I remember
so
all
good
the
about it.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I came, and that Friday, I don't know if it was that. No, it was the Monday. It was the Monday. That Monday, I gave my 2-week notice before I got the official job offer.
Yeah. Fucking bye.
What would I like? God, if I didn't get this job, like, what would I have done?
Literally, they would have been like, "That's fine, you can stay."
I'd be like, "Oh, never mind." So embarrassing, but I just felt so good about it, and it just felt so right. Fast forward to, almost 2 years later. I mean, this springtime, it'll be 2 years, right?
Yeah. For me, it'll be summertime is 2 years.
The culture shock that I still get, like the Teams meetings, the office lingo, you know what I mean? Like, let's put a pin in this. Like, oh, ping me when blah, 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 blah. It's still so foreign sounding to me. And it still feels so novel. And
even like, are you available? We're like in retail, it's like, come here and do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, mind blowing.
Yeah. The boundaries, the polite verbiage, like all of it is so different.
Just as far as what it's done for my life, I mean, Vince can work crazy hours, but for the most part, we work the same schedule. I'm afforded this opportunity to have, that concept of a 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5, and I'm actually still kind of figuring out what I want that to look like.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because same, like Matt and I had a conversation the other day and he said something like, this is like one of the first times that we didn't just like sit on the couch after work. And I'm like, oh shit, that is what I do. Yeah. Like I literally I'm so used to coming home from work late or after working 10 hours, but like still getting out at 5 and being so exhausted that like all I can do is sit on the couch, maybe make some food, but like sit my ass on the couch. This life, it's like really much because you could do mad stuff between 5 and 9 and not watch TV and make dinner.
And then part of me is like, oh, I used to use like my old job as like a crutch to not do a lot of things. But really,
I just work 12 hours, so I'm not going to do that on a Monday or a Tuesday.
Yeah, but kind of like I'm still in that way. I don't, I'm not like, I don't love to do stuff on a Monday or a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Actually, Thursday's pretty good for me because Fridays are pretty easy.
Yeah, Fridays feel good. And Thursdays feel good too because I'm like, I can fucking mail it in tomorrow. It's fine. Not even mail it in, but just like I don't care what I wear. I'm like, fucking whatever, dude. It's the weekend. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Although I do go out to lunch a lot on Fridays. And
love that.
I have been outfitting on Fridays.
I love that.
The big one for me about the transition. Weekends are when everybody is having their parties, their weddings, their cookouts, their beach days. And that's the part that I'm like, can everyone get out of my way? I'm trying to do this. So the way it was before is, for me, I know you had Thursday, Friday off. I had Wednesday, Thursday off. So if I had an event to go to on Saturday, a wedding or whatever, I had my 2 days off. I would usually either take Friday off or use it as like a half day or.
Yeah.
And I only worked till like 4 or 5 on Fridays anyway, but then I had to like pick up Ryan and all that stuff. Anyways. And then you have the event. And then probably I took off Sunday too. So it's like you have like 4.5 to 5, maybe 6 days for a wedding or a party or traveling back home. Now that shit's on the weekend, on my fucking days off, on my time. And now I have to, I don't want to say sacrifice because it's not that big of a deal, but like now I have to not do my weekend stuff because I have to go to a wedding or a party or an event. That's ghetto. I need a day off. Am I going to take Fridays off because I have to do something on Saturday? Absolutely not. When you work in retail, that's absolutely what you do.
I mean, you could still do that, I feel, if you wanted to, right?
That would just feel weird. Like, oh, I have a wedding on Saturday, so I'm going to be off today. What? That's my biggest one. Obviously, there's a million other like little things about like going to the supermarket.
Everything's so busy.
Get the fuck. Everybody's at the supermarket at the same damn time.
I know, and I used to like get up at 8 o'clock on my Thursday off and go to Target, and there would be nobody there.
Not a single soul. Maybe
Yeah.
a mom with their kids eating friggin' refreshers and
Yeah.
cake pops. Hate it. That's like the annoying part. Like everybody and their mom is at the market. And then do it during the week when everybody and their mom also gets paid on Thursday and they're at the market after work.
I'm an early riser, so
Mhm.
I mean, I could get up at 8 o'clock and get to Target before everybody else does. Vince is, even if he's up, he doesn't get out. He's not out of bed early. He likes
Yeah.
to sit in bed and watch TikTok, and
Yeah.
he's not a rusher to get out of bed.
Yeah, no, not at all. Me and Ryan can leave the house for 8 or 9 o'clock on the weekends, but Matt is not. He's not the one. I can ask him, but then I have to then like set aside the extra hour to 2 hours that takes him to like come out and get ready, because I know he likes to hang out and he wants to go and he wants to spend the time and he wants to be out in the streets with us. But me and Ryan are ripping and running by 9 a.m. Sir, we don't got time for you. The day is short. For me, the big one is like I have to like go to weddings on my days off.
The big one for me is, and you know, obviously I've never like mentioned where I used to work or where I work now.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that, so I work in like the talent acquisition space. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if anyone that I work with or for or around hears
Mm-hmm.
this, like it's not meant to be it's not meant to be speaking down of my level of work that I do, but
yeah,
I can say that I feel, for me, work is not my life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
When it used to be, I carried it home with me. Mm-hmm. I was constantly thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Texting your coworkers all hours of the night.
My coworkers calling me at all hours of the night, every day.
Like figure it out.
Now I don't live that life anymore. And I think that's, to me, the biggest thing. Like when I close that laptop, my work takes over.
Yes. But that's also like post-pandemic, like people kind of wanting to separate and actually have the what is it? The work-life balance. Like I feel like that is also, I mean, our jobs are just that way because they're that way. But I could easily not. I could easily, you know, open up my phone and check emails and do this, that, and the other thing. Just because, like, for me, it's, you know, service industry stuff and there's still things happening after I leave. But at the same time, I feel like post-pandemic, people are like, no. We were just off for 2 months, bro. I'm used to that now. I'm not going to be available. I'm like out at my farm.
Yeah, we reconnected with our families and our friends, I think, during the pandemic, and like reconnected with ourselves more than anything.
Everybody got a hobby.
Yep. And and your farm, like you wouldn't be able to do that working in retail.
I never would have wanted to if there wasn't so much content out there about having a farm and sustainability, and like you can fucking do this shit yourself and not have to pay for it. Although, like, it is expensive to start out. Like, don't let it fucking fool you. Like, there are content creators out there that are like, paid this much for seeds, paid this much, which is an exorbitant amount for soil, paid this much for other materials. And it's like, here's my yield. And it'll be like a carrot that's like an inch big and like yellow. So, like, yes, there are those moments. And this past season didn't yield as much as I would have expected, but I also, like, you know, I chaos farmed.
It was your first time. I'm sure you learned something, you know.
Yeah, I like threw seeds here. There was one thing I planted peas. And I didn't know what they were going to look like once they grew. I knew what the corn was going to look like because everybody knows what corn looks like when it grows. But there was peas and I didn't know, and it was wrapping around the corn. So I thought it was fine. That shit was a fucking weed.
Yeah.
A whole bed of weeds. And I was like, these peas aren't like growing anything. I was like trying to like grow beans and shit. The only thing that was like the most was spaghetti squash. The spaghetti squash took over like the whole fucking farm. And it was so cute. but I still only got like 3 or 4 spaghetti squashes.
Yeah.
And one of them or 2 of them were picked way too early.
The one you gave me was picked way too early.
Yeah, but and so that was in like August. I had it on my next to my window this entire time because I had one that was from when you picked yours or when I picked yours or the person who picked it too early. And I just had it last week. I read that like you just leave it in the sun for it to get super yellow. And then when it's yellow enough, then you just put it cool, dry place like potatoes. And it finally got yellow enough for me to like it. And then I ate it and it was so good.
Love that.
I know. But yeah, the farm was cool. I want to do it again. Somebody else like mowed over a lot of what we had going on. So that was annoying. But then fast forward, so I like put some seeds. This is such like fucking nerd farm talk, but I'm like really excited about it right now. So I put my seeds in March to like germinate. Like you put the seed in the thing and you put a cover on it so it like stays moist and then it grows and like sprouts. I had tomatoes. I had a bunch of stuff. Brussels sprouts, tomatoes, cucumbers. I had a bunch of stuff that like didn't sprout, but I was like, you know what? Maybe they're just slow. And I kept them in their little tray, like in next to the window with the cover on it. And that's where those tomatoes came from. The tomatoes that I just picked the last ones like a month ago. It just took a long time. And they grew in like their little like biodegradable like thing. I never even planted them in the ground. I just put them like in like my little flower bed thing to like see what would happen. And that shit produced.
Life finds a way. Did you never got Brussels sprouts?
No, I actually took a picture, I think, of the Brussels sprout plant that was at my father-in-law's house. My farm was at my father-in-law's house in New Jersey, listener. But I took a picture of it because it was finally growing. It was like a foot tall. But all of the Brussels sprouts and all of the leaves, you could tell like there was something eating them. So I didn't do very much like pest control, but the tomatoes there, like they got good tomatoes, they got good cucumbers, but the bed was old and like the bottom like fell out.
Oh,
I know. There was another bed that had oregano, scallions, not rosemary. Rosemary is like something that she has like in the house, but the oregano is still going strong. It's there for me to take whenever I want. What else did I grow? The scallions are still growing. Like I was there 2 weeks ago and like I picked scallion. Scallions are so easy to grow. But a lot of the herbs are just there and they're thriving. But like thyme and oregano, like that could be a bush. Like you could have it just as a bush in your house.
Yeah.
Because it just grows and it's there and it's chilling.
I've seen like Ina's thyme in her like huge garden is like yes, it's like a bush.
Yeah, and it's so pretty.
I love it, but it's definitely not a hobby that I will ever get into.
Oh, I hate that for you. I'm like trying to convince you in this whole conversation.
No, because I don't like dirt or bugs. So it's definitely not something that will ever convince me that.
So matter of fact, I don't like dirt or bugs. I also don't like dirt or bugs. So when the gross things came, that was Matt and Ryan's department. I also don't like bending over or kneeling. So like I did require, but I did like, a bulk of the stuff. I also don't like lifting. So Ryan was there being a lifter.
I love that.
I know, but we all figured it the fuck out. But next year I'm going to do a better job at organizing it and then Googling what it looks like when it's growing. So I don't let a weed thrive in the garden that I so carefully manicured before its arrival. I mentioned everybody had to help with the garden. So like family time.
That's
you didn't have family time before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like I don't know, this might be a weird thing to say, but like most parents have 9 to 5s. So like my dad has a 9 to 5. My mom has a 9 to 5 or 9 to something or something to something.
Yeah, but she's like early.
Yeah, she used to be. Now she's like 8 to 4 or something.
Okay.
But she works on Sunday, so that's irregular, but it's, it's been so long that it's fine. But she's still off Friday, Saturday, which is like, the good days to be off. So having opposite schedules for my parents, like we did not get to hang out unless one of us was sacrificing time after work.
Right.
And so like that was always like a thing. So I would like on Thursdays, because Thursday was my mom's Friday. And so for a while she worked until 2 or 3 or something, not from home. And so I would have to hang out with my mom on Thursdays, which for me is like my Sunday night.
Yep.
Sunday night, people are trying to be in the house.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? Getting ready for the week. Not that I am saying like it was annoying, because it wasn't, but it was just, you have to make sacrifices. Or for my mom, hanging out on Sunday, because Sundays we would get out of work early. Hanging out on Sunday, but that's, the regular, I'm air quoting, the regular person's Monday. Who the fuck wants to go out on a Monday besides me?
Right.
So now, because I only work 8 hours, I'm trying to with the realization of the last couple weeks of like, we come home and sit on the couch and eat dinner and that's it. I'm trying to be ripping and running, doing something, whether it's like an exercise thing or errands or something in the house, a chore to save it that I don't have to do on the weekend. I'm not trying to be a lump on the log.
Yeah.
Like, there's time. You're 5 to 9, there's time to do something.
There is.
I just want to find something to do outside of the house. I say that, but it's winter, so I'm going to stay my ass in this house.
I know. I prefer not to leave the house.
I'm not trying to be out in these streets.
It's so weird. Like I want to, and in my head, like I want to be somebody who wants to leave the house. And I thought that like leaving retail and working this new 9-to-5 job, that I would be somebody who leaves the house.
Yeah.
And turns out no.
Well, I mean, it also like you're what's it called? Hybrid. So I think that there's that like leaving the house is like annoying because I could be working from home.
Well, and like Vince, like when on the days that I do work from home, like if they ever are back to back, like have you left the house this week? Like, no.
Don't be a hater, sorry. What you mean? This brings us to like the next thing. We used to beat our faces to go to work, honey. We used to fashion runway this shit every day.
Makeup
after the pandemic, I didn't, because of the mask thing. I was like, what am I gonna do? Put on concealer? Get the fuck. But then after the pandemic, I was like, I still don't want to wear makeup. I'm used to not wearing makeup. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, makeup, full face makeup every day, hair done every day, like tights every day. Oh my God, I can't even imagine it now.
The shoes.
I can't imagine it.
I wore makeup like twice or 3 times in the like, this isn't last week, but like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe. And I was like, I'm gonna run out of makeup wipes. It's like, yes, bitch. Like, you bought these all the time. It's what you have to keep buying them because this is your life. But now I'm like, ugh. Also, athleisure.
Oh,
the athleisure market made some money, honey. I never thought that I would just be in these streets wearing leggings and a t-shirt. No big deal. Just, this is clothes.
Well, I mean, I'll do legging. Like my favorite like office outfit, like when I have to go to the office, I'll do black leggings. I'll do either like a pair of Vans or Uggs, depending on the weather. And then like an oversized sweater, an oversized, like, I don't want to say sweatshirt, but I guess you could call it a sweatshirt.
You were trying to make it cute.
Yeah. No, but then like I'll put on like my Burberry scarf with it, and like to me, like that's dressed up enough.
This is what you guys get.
Yep.
I die. Meanwhile, you were friggin' pencil skirts and button downs.
I know.
2 years ago.
This is just so much better.
But so here's the other thing. Post-pandemic, athleisure is everyone's like, it's not just us that are, you know what I mean? Like, obviously there's people that have to still wear suits to work and stuff, and I don't miss it. But I think
we're on trend, you know?
Yeah, like this is just what people are wearing now. Yep. But also like just the old school part of me, like I fucking hate that for people. I hate that white sneakers to the club with your mini skirt is like fashion, and if you're wearing heels, it's like, okay, fucking millennial.
I love it.
Ugh. I love the idea of dressing up, and the fact that like casual footwear and just casual everything and oversized stuff, I'm like, what happened to the days where we used to dress nice?
I mean, it's like called the evolution of like fashion.
It is. It's just, I hate it.
Okay, what happened to that? Oh my God.
Like
You sound like my grandmother. Like
no,
her,
internally,
1950s like house dress. You know what I mean?
right.
What happened to the days when we used to dress up?
Right. So like I feel like that, but at the same time I'm embracing what the kids have told us in wear the baggy shirt. Nobody gives a fuck what you look like underneath. Wear it. Do a
Yeah.
French tuck. Tuck in half of it if you want to, if there's button. You know what I mean? Like I'm embracing it and I'm doing it. Like, but like I was just cleaning up. I made an office in my house. Oh, that's what I did. I made an office in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm donating a lot of clothes. And I'm like, wait, because if I donate all of my like dress up suit clothes, what am I gonna wear when I have to go somewhere nice? So like I'm like being careful, like let me keep this because this is still fucking new. But also
Yes,
I'm like, why am I keeping this?
I've kept a couple things.
It's just weird. Like I have all these dresses and I'm like, when the hell am I for this shit?
I've definitely gotten rid of the majority of my dresses, and you know how much I used to have.
Yes. I just love them. But I'm also one of those people, and I've been like this forever. Like I'm one of those people that like I don't like to wear the same outfit twice to an event. So back in my home days, I'm a Portuguese American princess, honey. And so we used to go to the Portuguese club and we 100% were taking pictures because I always had a camera. Like that was always my Christmas gift. Every Christmas was a new camera. I was the girl taking pictures for MySpace and eventually Facebook. So I didn't like to wear like the same outfit twice because it was going to be posted. And that feels so stupid to say out loud because it's like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Nobody cares and nobody's calculating your outfits. But like, for instance, my birthday this past year, that like leopard white dress, I just feel like if I were to wear that again, people would be like, oh, again? Oh, again, we're doing this?
This is so funny because I noted. I said this to Vince the other day. I said, I don't I don't see the same outfits on Erica a lot. She's like a one and done. I said that to Vince, which is wild to me because like I took a different approach. I took the opposite approach. Like I invested in pieces of clothing from J. Crew, from
Right.
Nordstrom. So I was constantly
Yeah.
recycling outfits.
I mean, for work at retail when I was dressing up, I feel like we wore fucking like night clothes, like evening wear, like fancy evening wear, like in the middle of a fucking Saturday to like dress up. But I recycled. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, these are my work clothes. It's whatever. I have like special things that I've like worn to weddings, and it's like, okay, well, I wore this to a wedding for Matt's friends. I can wear this to something with my family, but I can't wear it again after this. I'm talking about a red dress. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, my like going out clothes, I'm not trying to be a repeat offender.
Oh.
And if I am, I'm 100% switching it up.
Yeah, and I think that's yeah.
But with athleisure, nobody gives a fuck. You can be wearing the same black leggings that you wore yesterday. Nobody cares. You can wear the same sweatshirt probably, and I don't even think they'll care. I can't. It's such a weird life.
I don't wear my leggings or my sweatshirts more than once without a wash.
Oh yeah, I have literally like fucking 10 pairs of the same leggings. So what does like a normal like weekend look like for you? Like your normal days off, are they different from what they looked like when you worked retail?
Well, yes, only because like they're with Vince, and before they used to be alone. And that's a hard question to answer only because we've had so many home projects going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did the dining room, and then it was like a couple months, a few the summer, I guess. And
yeah,
started the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So like this year, a lot of my weekends were like labor. Well, what is your? Well, I feel like I know.
Skated by. Yeah, no, mine is so on Saturdays I go and visit my in-laws. They're 92 and 87. On the 19th, she'll be 87. It's either 87 or 88. I think it's 1936 because that's her password for everything. That's not her whole password, but in her password, it's 19. I'm pretty sure it's either 1936 or 1935 she was born.
Wow.
I know. So they're older, and so now that me and Matt have the same days off, essentially, we go there on the weekend. And so in the beginning, it was like spending time with Matt's younger stepson, And it's like, well, what do we like do? Like now that like I'm home too, because before like, they would hang out and I would just be at work all weekend. But now like I'm here too, so I'm like, hold on, I'm not gonna sit on the couch all weekend. You know what I mean? Like I want to like do something where before they were like, hanging out at the house just waiting for me to get out of work.
Right.
To make them dinner. Or to hang out or do whatever, maybe we were going to the movies or something after I got out of work. But yeah, so now we help out with my in-laws and help them with whatever they need to do. I usually have a task to be assigned to me when I arrive.
Oh.
And it's usually something like electronic. In the beginning, we were just going straight up to the grocery store, and then where we were taking them to the grocery store.
Very time consuming.
Oh, very time consuming. But now, so he said something about wanting a new iPad. So he got an iPad, and so now he likes to order his own groceries, but he's still like, well, just write a list. But I'll make him do it. And he had a stroke, so he only has one arm, which is why they need so much help. Also, he's freaking 92. Hello. But I'll have to like tell him, okay, click on here, and then which one do you want? It gives you all the blueberries. Do you want the frozen ones? Do you want the 1 pint? Do you want the 2 pint? Like which blueberries are you shopping for? And I make him pick it. So like I make him do it, but like afterward you can tell he's like tired and he's like, all right, that's enough. Or like halfway through the whole grocery list, I don't need this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'll do it. I'll press the button. But we always have a project. First in the summer it was the farm, and then now it's just grocery shopping and cleaning up and meal prepping. In the beginning it was a lot of meal prepping, but now that he discovered Grubhub, I don't have to meal prep anymore because now he orders his own Grubhub.
Wow.
It's so funny. I look at it when I'm there because I also like delete like the text messages that are from like scammers and stuff on my mother-in-law's phone. But that's, on Saturday I do that. I go to their house and I do that stuff. And then on Sunday, I'm doing whatever chores I got to avoid on Saturday because I was doing their chores. And then like it starts all over again. But that's all. That's all I got, Beck. What do you want to say to our friends before we leave?
As per usual, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Thank you for sharing. Thanks to our moms who have been
VIPs,
angelically supportive.
Yes,
Liz and Jody.
100%. Liz and Jody. Hold on, I just real quick thought of something I don't do now that I work 9 to 5. I don't see my brother and his kids and his wife anymore because I used to just go there in the middle of the week because it was easy. And now on the weekend that I have to do everything, I don't have time to see my niece and nephew. I see them on like holidays and I don't want to be one of those aunties. So put a pin in, I need to be a better auntie. Well, thank you guys for listening. Please share our podcast with your friends because if you like us, then probably they'll like us too. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. If you're looking to follow me on social media, I'm at Cold Heart Covered in Gold, and Becky is at Becky_BE, BECKI_BE. Later, dudes.
Bye.